accusations of being a PDF file, threats of pulling up and beating the brakes off somebody, and general disdain for the other person. Now, if this sounds like some general Twitter beef, it's because, it kind of was. But usually this behavior is reserved for, rappers or singers or even other celebrities. So what would cause two hosts of a clip show nonetheless to go at each other like this? Well, this is the short-lived beef of Daniel Tosh and Rob Dyrdek, aka the host of Tosh.0 and the host of Ridiculousness. Let's go ahead, dive in, break down this beef, and then at the end we're going to see who ultimately won this beef. Cue Wayne. I'm just playing, but shout out to Flamo Raps. Now we're going to time travel a bit back to the year 2009, freshly off the housing crisis, freshly off the recession. And I'm not talking about the recession, I'm talking about Young Jeezy's The Recession. Chill. Now, before I get into the beef, I want to give you some cultural context of what's going on in 2009. We're finally transitioning to more accessible internet. You're not using that dial-up shit no more. Finally, get faster access to internet. You can see all that bullshit you want to see. You don't got to worry about your grandma calling and messing up your downloading of X-Men Origins Wolverine. I'm not even talking about the version that got better later on. I'm talking about the version with the whack-ass CGI and those the stunt dummies and wires that were in that video that you so badly want to see, and for it just to be fucking ass. Anyway, you got sites like Twitter starting off. You got people going on Reddit more often now. You got Facebook in full effect. So this is all like the foundation of the internet, what it is now. This is the genesis. We'll start seeing a lot more clips and videos going viral, people going viral. Meme culture was taking off. It really was the building blocks of what we know the internet today. So along comes Comedy Central and they decide to make their own clip show a la The Soup. And if you don't know what The Soup is, shit. To my younger viewers who do not know what The Soup is, The Soup is pretty much a clip show of shows that aired during the day, during the week. It's hosted by Joe McHale for a bit, aka that dude from Community. Where he pretty much commentates and makes jokes of the stuff that went on during that week. But back to Comedy Central, they decided to do their own clip show instead of things that went on during the week from shows and whatever else programming there was. It would be based off internet clips, internet videos, people that went viral, whatever. And it was going to be hosted by comedian Daniel Tosh. The first episode aired June 4, 2009. And to say the show was a success is a bit of an understatement because within the first 10 weeks of the show first airing, it quickly became the second most watched cable network show in its time slot for demographics 18 to 34. And yeah, I read that part off Wikipedia, which is still pretty insane because I don't know what was the first time slot. You know what? I can't find it, but let's just say for the sake of argument, it was Breaking Bad. So yeah, the show's a huge success. Let's go ahead and check out what's going on MTV's side and what's going on with Rob Dyrdek. Let's do some time traveling again, but this time we're going to just flash forward 2 years into the future, which is 2011, the year where, hold up. Oh yeah, this was the year that Bin Laden got murked. Word. Yeah, but anyway, so I guess this was MTV's response to seeing the success that Tosh.0 was having, and it was like, yo, let's do that too. And yeah, they went ahead, started their own clip show, and they had Rob Dyrdek as the host. Now, Rob Dyrdek already had 2 shows on MTV during this time. He already had Rob and Big, and he also had Fantasy Factory, both of which were already pretty successful. So despite Rob not being a comedian, he clearly has his own way of capturing an audience and retaining an audience at that. So the stage is set up. We got Daniel Tosh with Tosh.0, and we got Rob Dyrdek with Ridiculousness. The main difference between the shows is that Daniel Tosh, he has, his monologue with clips. He does an internet celebrity profile, and then he goes and does like clip of the week. And then with Ridiculousness, you got Rob Dyrdek, you got his boy Stilo, and then of course we got Chanel West Coast. Now their show structure is more kind of like friends hanging out and just watching clips from the internet. Really no monologue or skits written into it, just more so just, all right, we're watching a bunch of these clips. Let's see what can we watch. So the beginning of this beat started when Ridiculousness was about to air. Rob Dyrdek was giving an interview to ESPN, just talking about the show, talking about himself and everything. And the interview's asking him questions. And in this article, the writer actually mentions Daniel Tosh's tweet at Rob Dyrdek where he says, "Congrats at Rob Dyrdek. New show looks very funny and familiar." And then Rob Dyrdek replies, "Thank you so much at Daniel Tosh. Maybe later this week, you, Bob Saget, and Tom Bergeron could come down to Fantasy Factory and play," which is such a clean response by Rob himself. So the writer points out to Rob that the shows are being compared, and Rob's response is just saying, I'm not even sweating it. The videos are the stars. Once they see the show, the debate will go away. Poor Rob. Didn't know what was coming, man. Rob then goes on to say, Ridiculousness is not mean-spirited like Tosh's show. It's more like America's Funniest Home Videos. The article then goes on with Rob saying, now Vinny DeBona, that's the person who should really be mad about all of this, said Dyrdek, who pitched the idea for a video show a year before Tosh.0 began. Vinny was the one who created Funniest Home Videos. Now that's pure gold. My show is about hanging out with friends, watching and commentating on videos. None of it is scripted. There's going to be a difference. So yeah, everybody, there's clearly a difference. There shouldn't be any more problems going on between these two. Don't mind the change of clothes. Just had to take the hoodie off. It's been a couple weeks, so it got hotter where I'm at. And yeah, back to the story. So the ESPN article came out, and Rob Dyrdek was promoting Ridiculousness and talking about, it's different from Tosh.0 and everything. There's nothing really conflicting about it. The article brings out Daniel's tweet, and I think Rob did a really good job with, just kind of like sidestepping in, just turning it more back to promoting his show. It seems like he didn't want nothing to do with, escalating this beef or starting anything. But unlike Rob, Daniel Tosh is not one to shy away from controversy or just stirring up the pot to begin with. So it's admirable of Rob wanting to, be the bigger man, kind of not stir the pot. But it's also pretty funny thinking that nothing was going to happen, or he was not going to get any response from Tosh from this. So now we're going to reach the peak of the beef, which started in June 5th, 2012. So it's season 4 of Tosh.0. We're in the middle of the season, the 12th episode. So it's your standard Tosh.0 episode. If you're not familiar with the format, he starts off with doing a bit of a monologue, beginning with clips playing in the background. He then does a quick bit for commercial break. They come back from commercial break and they do a web redemption. The web redemption is part of the show where they find a clip that went viral and either the person had an accident or had an embarrassing moment or something else, and they kind of give him like a chance to redeem himself of sorts. And then after they do the web redemption, there was like a new segment called Celebrity Profile. They fucking do a profile on somebody that went viral. And then it ends with Tosh promoting his tours or some shows and then like an ending clip. And that's kind of Tosh.0. Anyway, on this episode, they decided to do a web redemption on the skateboard that got hit by a fucking ice cream truck. So then Tosh just goes into a rant about the clip and just does a commentary about it.
Skateboarding was invented by Marty McFly in 1955. Back then it was actually cool and dangerous. Now every kid with a single parent is doing it. I watch the X Games for the same reason people watch bullfighting. I want to see you die. Skaters think they're awesome, but really they're just like any other group of nerds who have their own secret language and wear costumes. How is doing a nollie heel flip and dressing like a hipster any different than speaking Klingon and wearing stormtrooper costume?
And then it leads into a skit with the person that does the web redemption. So he dresses up like a Rob, wearing the classic fitted cap with the hoodie over it, and just like Rob. They're then at a bogus fantasy factory where he has a bunch of kids just riding around shirtless, kind of like alluding to the fact that he kind of has a thing for younger kids, which is totally not the case, but it's just something he just takes and runs with. And then there's a joke inside the skit where the kid asks, like, isn't this, kind of Rob's idea? And Tosh goes on saying, oh, I had the idea first. It's just was busy with other things, calling back in reference to the ESPN article where Rob was saying that, the idea was already in place and that he kind of just decided to finally, flesh it out, and do it.
Serge, welcome to my childish dream factory for young boys only.
It's a lot like the Fantasy Factory.
No, it doesn't. This is my own original idea that I had years ago before he did. I was just too busy with other projects to see it through. This place is awesome. It's got everything you could ever want if the only thing you ever wanted was to hang out with 12-year-old shirtless boys.
So yeah, Rob Dyrdek was pretty pissed about the episode. I mean, yeah, if somebody accuses you of being a PDF file, I'll be rightfully pissed as well, especially if you're putting on your goddamn TV show for millions of people to see, making these false allegations against me. What the fuck? So then Rob went on Twitter and tweeted out, I am not a comedian or an actor. So unfortunately, at Daniel Tosh, added him shit. We are going to have to settle this the old-fashioned way. ... Hashtag see you soon. Shit. Daniel Tosh then goes on, he retweets the tweet. So then Rob replies to the retweet by saying, the idea of having beef with Daniel Tosh is truly embarrassing. For real. Imagine that. Clip show host beef. But the beef is now very real. To which Daniel Tosh replies, fair enough, but if you have to beat me up, can we film it and put it on my show so people can actually watch it? Which is fucking hilarious. So shots are fired, the battle lines have been drawn, you got 13 and 15-year-olds on this side, siding with Tosh, and then you got 13 and 15-year-olds on this side, siding with Rob, and They're gonna go at it online. And just for the sake of it, I was on Tosh's side. Hashtag Team Tosh. So a month later, TMZ drops an article, pretty much just restating the facts, reiterating that, Tosh.0 was first, came out, and he felt some type of way because Ridiculousness was similar to the concept of Tosh.0. They bring up the skit that Tosh did where it alludes to Rob, liking kids or whatever. They bring up Rob's tweet wanting to fight Tosh, and then, Tosh replied to that. It was a pretty quick and brief article, pretty much just summarizing everything, world-class journalism by TMZ. But my favorite part is the comment section because it's absolute gold. I'll read off a few because they're pretty funny. Rob, I'll fight you for free in Tosh's place. I'm about your size and age, but I guarantee I'll kick the shit out of you. I'm sorry, but Rob is creepy as hell. He looks like the 40-year-old version of the Six Flags old man and tries to hang with all these kids and be so cool. It's embarrassing. Personally, I think Tosh has a better show. Dyrdek is and has always been a huge douche. I hate this guy with every fiber of my being. Even more than I hate Charlie Sheen. And that is with a great passion. Still, if Dyrdek gets upset so easily over a stupid skit, then he needs to get some anger management. The only thing he might get out of it would be some minor ratings jump. Tosh will score a lot more ratings out of it, so it would be to his benefit to keep this little bitch fest going. Either way, I hope they both crash and burn. And then he ends it with, take Sheen with you. What Charlie Sheen, what'd you do to this guy? I ain't never seen Rob Dyrdek with any women. He's never been seen sporting hoes, and he has no kids. Kind of like Michael Jackson was never associated with any woman and had built fantasy shit for kids like Rob's skate parks. That's a good point. Is he agreeing with his own point? Rob probably is gay and likes little kids since he sure don't have any women and has never been seen dating them. Thank you, Unbound to Zero. Your time is up, Rob D. Tosh is the man. Great stuff, great stuff. But now I'm just thinking of the type of person you have to be to comment in a TMZ comment section. I don't know. I guess it falls in the same realms of people that do the Yahoo answers, or the people that used to do the Yahoo answers. But that was really the peak of the beef, and after that, it kind of sharply starts to drop. Unfortunately, there was no fight, but personally, I think that Rob Dyrdek would beat the shit out of Tosh.0. The man's from Ohio, and as you know, Ohio is the Florida of the North. Talking about Florida, man. Ohio, man, the come up too now. The rest of 2012 was quiet. So was 2013. Nothing else came up. In 2014, Rob did an interview with Larry King, just pretty much, talking about the beef. And then Rob just, just summarizes what went down and everything.
You had a beef over the year with the Comedy Central host Daniel Tosh. What's that all about?
I think what it is more than anything is there's, from his perspective, which I get, it's like I took his show and copied it, did an MTV version.
Did
for
you?
Ridiculous. I did. By the time my Ridiculousness came out, it was already after the first season of Tosh came out, right?
Tosh.
So what had happened is then he got out of pocket, and then I made the brutal mistake. We're normally like, what do I care, right? Like, it's like one of 50 things that I do. But I made the mistake, the uncanny mistake of coming out of pocket on social media, right? Where I just said some like, yeah, like, I'll see you when I see you type of thing, right?
So he got ticked.
No, then it turned into this like whole like, thing about this beef between us. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if this was before or after the interview, but Tosh is now in a different beef with Sports Science. He is saying that they took the idea of the web redemption from him, especially his trademark phrase, I guess, you want to give it another shot, which I didn't know that was like kind of like his catchphrase or whatever, but apparently he was pretty pissed off about that, or enough to do a whole skit about it.
I know what you're thinking. That would make a great web redemption. And apparently, you're not the only one who thought so. Listen, I'm aware America's Funniest Home Videos and Talk Soup have a legitimate gripe against me. It's bad enough MTV has a PG girl version of this show. But now, sports channels are stealing from me? Did ESPN really think I wouldn't notice when they came up with an eerily familiar new segment called Awesome Video Segment?
When I went around before, and then with the two spotlights on me, I couldn't see what was in front of me.
All right, listen closely and tell me if you've heard this next phrase before.
Do you think you would be willing to give it another shot?
They must have missed that one episode where I said that before.
Are you ready to give another shot?
Are you ready to give another shot?
You ready to give another shot?
Are you ready to give another shot?
Are you ready to give another shot?
You fucking hacks are cheapening my brand. That's why I created a new segment called Sports Science. ESPN's 72 personalities who have no personality can somehow manage to exert enough force to climb all the way into the NFL's asshole. Former athletes account for almost 1/3 of ESPN personalities. And with a grammatical error every 5th word, a normal segment contains nearly 400 instances of flawed syntax. Simple mathematics tells us that is a statistical anomaly.
And then that's kind of the last of the beef we hear about between them. I couldn't find anything that Tosh said or Rob said about each other afterwards, but if you see anything or saw anything, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Between 2014 till now, the only thing I could find was Rob Dyrdek just talking about the beef again, just briefly on this podcast, and it came out probably 2 months ago from the time recording this.
Well, I remember at that time, you guys were in season 1, I believe, or even sooner than
we
that.
call for the video?
Yeah, but what happened was Tosh
Tosh
0.
battle.
Tosh wanted it. And they said, this is a true story. He said, yeah, Ridiculous is never going to make it past season 1.
Yeah.
And so when you're saying, exactly what you're saying, you just plowed right through.
Yeah.
Awesome. But
how many episodes now?
Yeah, and I mean, look, I think in that era, obviously, he was pretty hurt of this idea that's inside Viacom that there would be another clip show, and I think for us it was always this idea of its friends watching the video is more the content, you know what I mean, and even back then they premiered the show on the night of the movie awards, so the ratings on the first one were super outrageous too, which really bummed him out equally.
So unfortunately, there was no official shaking of hands or Tosh saying sorry. And I mean, I don't expect Tosh to apologize for anything. But now, who ultimately won the beef? Now, of course, that's up to interpretation. What is your meaning of success? Is it monetary? Is it time? Is it family? Is it value? Whatever the fuck. Tosh 0 ended back in 2020 with 302 episodes recorded and with 12 seasons under its belt. And right now, Ridiculousness is still on the air with 1,086 episodes recorded with 32 seasons under their belt. I don't even know what to say to that. But regardless, I think both shows had their audience. I also wanted to see what Bo's been up to today. I haven't heard about Daniel Tosh since the end of Tosh 0. Apparently, he's going to be the host of a show called The GOAT, and the whole gist of the show is to find the greatest reality TV star of all time. Should be fun, I think. And he's still going on tour doing stand-up and everything. And Rob is just on his way to become the next Jeff Bezos at this point. Look out for SLS on Mars in 2035. At the end of the day, both shows found their audience. There's nothing really too special about clip shows to begin with. One had a more structured theme with charismatic hosts and everything, while the other was just kind of just being able to turn off your brain, just sometimes see celebrity guests and seeing funny clips that you weren't able to see on your phone. I don't know. Not knocking off Ridiculousness, but personally, I still think that Tosh 0 was a superior show. But apparently, I'm in the minority because I don't know who are you people watching Ridiculousness, allowing it to go on for 32 seasons and over 1,000 episodes. So shit, fuck me. I don't know. But this is now the conclusion of the Daniel Tosh and Rob Dyrdek beef. I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what I missed. Let me know something that I didn't know at all or something that I got incorrect. Either way, I want to know. Adios.